Hi friends, welcome back to Table Full of Joy. If you're new, I'm Cheryl. If you've been following for a while, welcome back. So today's video is part of a collection of Valentine's sweets that I'm doing. I am actually doing some baking for our youth group at church. They're hosting their annual spaghetti feed tomorrow night to raise money to send kids to camp. I am donating 2 desserts to their dessert dash for tomorrow night. And I'm also making a couple of things that are going to be in an auction for people. They're going to go in a basket where I'm auctioning off a dinner for 2 that I'm going to come to their home and cook for them. So come along with me in my kitchen as we make a whole bunch of fun treats. As I said, all of these videos together will be in a playlist over here for you guys to check out, so you'll just see everything that I'm doing and have some fun new recipes to try. So come on in the kitchen. All right, so in the oven right now we have our chocolate bundt cakes that are going to get drenched in chocolate ganache. They're going to have a beautiful drizzle of either red or pink melting chocolate, probably some sprinkles on them, just anything to make them look super Valentine festive. But we are also making cake pops. I love cake pops. We're taking some help from the grocery store. We're using a red velvet cake mix. So we're gonna go ahead and get this in our mixing bowl. And we're going to add in, you're basically making your cake mix according to the package directions. This specific cake mix calls for half a cup of water, or excuse me, a half cup of oil, 1 1/4 cups of water, and 3 eggs. So we're going to go ahead and put in our oil. Let's get our 1 1/4 cups of water, 1 cup. Let's get our, then we're going to put our 3 eggs in. And you could do this with an electric mixer, it tells you to, but my mixer right now already has the cake batter for the bundt cakes. I'm not gonna wait until I get done with that. I'm not gonna dirty up another bowl transferring it. We're just gonna go with it. I've been making cakes forever, and I think I can mix it up enough that it's gonna be fine. So we just need to get this done. As I said, I've got a lot of things that are going. So in this playlist, that you guys will see for the things, the little treats that I'm making for Valentine's Day for our youth auction, is I am making cake pops, red velvet cake pops that we're going to dip in, some in dark chocolate and some in white chocolate. And then we are going to make some chocolate dipped strawberries. We're going to have those in 2 different kinds of chocolate. We are making our bundt cakes. I don't want to heat up this decorating chocolate sooner than I have to, and I would rather not do it in stages. I just realized that this pink one, when I got it home, it literally must have been in something, because it is a solid brick instead of being individual pieces like this one. I don't have time to run back to Winco to exchange it right now, so we're just going to go with it. Hopefully when I get it opened, it's going to be okay. It's still going to melt fine. If it doesn't, then I won't have a choice but to go back to Walmart and have them exchange it. But right now we're just going to work with what we've got. So I am going to wait to do anything with these chocolates until tomorrow morning, because I need to dip the strawberries, dip the cake pops, and I need to dip cake pops, strawberries. Those are the ones that have to be dipped tomorrow, as well as I need some of this to drizzle on our bundt cakes. So we're going to get our baking done today, and then tomorrow we are going to just do a huge assembly line of just getting everything drizzled. So we'll start with one thing, we'll do what we need to do with that one, we'll push that aside, we'll get the next one, and we'll just keep moving forward until we get everything done. I'm thinking of adding one more recipe to this, but I haven't quite decided yet if I really want to do it or not. It just really depends on how big my tray is that I'm going to put my desserts on. So the bundt cakes are going to be a dessert by themselves on a tray that will be in the the dessert dash. And then the bundt cakes are going to be on one tray in the dessert dash. And then the other tray for the dessert dash is going to be the cake pops, probably some more of the truffles or something like that. I haven't quite decided yet, but we are going to add one more thing to the cake pops. All right, I think we've got our cake batter pretty well mixed up. It looks pretty good. Don't want want to drizzle this stuff all over my floor. So let's go ahead and just wipe this off. I'm gonna put this in our sink. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and spray our pan that we have here. I had to wash it because I used it for something else, and so got a little water on it. So let's go ahead and give this a spray. All right, I want to use a brush real quick, and we're just going to go around the edges of this, make sure that we have our corners and our edges all done. Go around the edge of it with our brush. All right, I think we've got that good now. All right, let's grab a spatula so we can pour this in. Typically, I would bake this in a 13 by 9. I want to cook this fairly quickly. I don't want it to be super thick and take forever to cool. So we're gonna do this in just a sheet pan. That way it won't take as long. I'm hoping we can get all of this on here. We should be able to. I just think that it's gonna be easier to deal with if we cook this on a more shallow pan than cooking it in a big 13 by 9 cake pan. So like I said, we're just gonna do whatever we have to make things cool as quickly as they can so that we can get our cake. Because ideally what I would like to do is I would like to get our cake, I'd like to get the cake cool tonight, get the frosting, because if you've never made cake pops before, you take cake mix, you take frosting, you can just use store-bought frosting, and you take your, get this all off of here, you take your store-bought frosting and you mix this into your cake after it comes out of the oven. It's cooled, you crumble it into a bowl, and then you use store-bought frosting and you mix those together. And you want to let it sit for about 15-20 minutes so that it has time for this to absorb into the cake so they hold together into a cake ball. So I think I'm going to get the cake baked, we're going to cool it, we're going to crumble it, we're going to put our frosting in it, and then we're going to let it sit till tomorrow. And we'll make our cake balls tomorrow night or bake them tomorrow morning, and then we'll just start dipping things as we get things done. So let me get the red off my hand. All right, so we have our cake, our red velvet cake right here. It is ready to go in our oven. As I said, we're baking this just on a sheet pan, so it's going to be easier for us to cool it. It's not going to take as long to bake. It's going to be a lot faster, and we're going to be able to keep moving forward with these things. But as I said, we're just going to let it cool. We're going to add our frosting to it after we crumble it, and it's just going to hang out the rest of the evening. And then tomorrow, after everything has cooled, we have a huge assembly line of things that we need to put together. Tomorrow we have a lot of decorating that has to get done on a lot of things. So make sure that you guys check out the entire playlist of everything that we made for our youth group auction. All right, our red velvet cake is done. We're gonna go ahead and pull this out of the oven. There's something else in here that'll be a part of another video that's also in this collection. Should have left these on. So we have our red velvet cake here. I accidentally stuck my finger in the corner of it, which it's fine. It's not a big deal because we're gonna crumble it up anyway, so I'm not gonna worry about it. It's just gonna be fine. So we're gonna just let our cake now sit up here on the cooling rack. It's gonna cool, and then as soon as it's completely cold, then we'll get out a bowl. We'll mix that with we're gonna start off with 1 cup of our store-bought vanilla frosting, and we'll get that mixed up to make our cake balls. We have our sticks here ready to go. There's 20 sticks here. I think that's going to be more than enough cake balls because it really is only 8 people sitting at a table during the cake dash. So the dessert on that tray only needs to serve 8 people. So we're going to do the cake balls and some other little thing, probably something strawberry to go on that one, and then we'll have the other tray that'll have the other dessert that you guys will see in the other video that'll be in that playlist for you guys. So we're just gonna let this chill out now. We're gonna finish some other things. I need to do some cleaning up in the kitchen, get some other things going, but for right now, we're done with this recipe until we come back tomorrow. Or actually, I'll bring you guys back later tonight after this cools and we put our frosting in. I'll bring you back for that. So we'll see you in a little while. All right, friends, our red velvet cake is nice and cool now. It's ready. I was gonna wait and do this tomorrow, but I'm actually gonna do it tonight. I have some time before I need to make dinner. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started now. So I need to get a spatula so we can scoop out some of our frosting. This basically, like I said, it's just your red cake, vanilla frosting. You mix it together, you let it sit and hang out. And I'm glad that I did this cake on this sheet pan versus doing this in a 13x9 pan, because I think it looks a little bit better. So we're just gonna crumble this up. Cake pops are so super easy. They are so easy. And I think once we get these, this mixed in together, I think we're just gonna, this needs to sit, like I said, for a couple of minutes so that this can absorb into our cake. These are going to be stunning, dipped in white chocolate, dark chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate. We're gonna have all three flavors of cake pops, and it's gonna be amazing. So we'll have time while we let the frosting mix into this, we'll have time to get our pan washed so that we can put our cake pops on this, and then those are just gonna hang out until tomorrow. I'm not gonna dip those until tomorrow because I want everything to have a chance to really set, and I don't want to do any dipping until tomorrow so that everything is nice and fresh when we take it to our event tomorrow. I'm going to go a little bit early tomorrow so I can help with some setup and getting some baskets put together and a few other things. Our youth leader said she could use some help, so I'm going to go and do that. I'm excited to go and help them. I made a couple of cute little holders for our cake pops, and I'm excited to see how those look. You guys will get to see those tomorrow when we get our cake pops made and we get ready to put these in our holder. Just some little cute dollar store, or I should, well, not even really dollar store anymore. It's a $1.25 store now. But just our little Dollar Tree over here. They had some cute little Valentine containers that I thought would be super cute. And so we're gonna make some cute little boxes for these cake pops, and these are gonna go on the dessert dash table with another little treat that I haven't quite got exactly in my head what I'm doing. I have a couple of ideas, but I need to finalize it before I say anything. So I want to make sure that I'm not speaking before I've thought all the way through. All right, so this looks good. This looks like we have a good mixture. This is a really light cake. This cake is beautiful. All right, I'm gonna give my hands a quick rinse real fast. We need 1 cup. This is 16 ounces, so we need half of this container. And the directions for these cake pops tell you to do the 1 cup like the directions say, and then wait about 30 minutes. And then come back and look at them again, because they may need a little more moisture if they are too dry. All right, so that's about half. So I'm gonna just use my spatula. I'm gonna see if I can do it this way to get this to get this frosting all the way mixed in. If I had been thinking about it, I would have got cream cheese frosting instead of vanilla, because I think that might have been very classic for red velvet cake. But like I said, we need to get this frosting all the way mixed into our cake. Make sure all of our cake is coated in this frosting. And then we'll check it. We'll see what we're looking like as far as our moisture, whether our cake balls are gonna hold together, because we're gonna scoop these with our cookie scoop. I have a couple more things going on the stove at the same time because we are multitasking in the kitchen today. Okay, I think I'm gonna take my rings off. I need to get in with my hands. I need to see what this cake is feeling like. See if it needs to be, just see if I can get this all feels like it's really coming together. So I don't think I'm gonna need to put any more in. I think we're gonna be good. So like I said, we need to let this set for a few minutes just to make sure that our cake has absorbed all of our frosting. And these are gonna be good. That's gonna give me a minute to clean up my mess. I flung it all over the place. It's all over my counter now. So we're gonna grab something and we're gonna clean this up. Dough, or not dough, our cake mixture is ready for us to roll out our cake balls. We need to get these rolled out into a ball. I'm gonna mash our dough together just a little bit, or our cake batter together a little bit. We want these to be nice. I think I need to mash this together a little bit more because it's okay. Let's get in here with our scoop. I want to try to get these as even as I possibly can. Squeeze them together a little bit, get this all compact. And we're just going to put these on a sheet pan because they're going to go into the freezer for an hour. And once they sit in there for an hour, then they'll come out and they'll be ready for us to dip. So I am trying to decide if I'm going to dip them tonight or if I'm going to leave them in the freezer and dip them tomorrow. But we will see what happens tonight, if we're able to get this done or not. Red velvet cake balls ready to go. I still have some extra filling here, but I'm not gonna, I'll just save it. I only need 20 of these. So that's all the sticks that I actually have is just 20. So we're just gonna use these 20. We're gonna put our little sticks down in here. We're gonna pinch these if we need to get them to hold together. So put our little stick down in there and then just kind of use your fingers to kind of push the cake pop back together if it starts to come apart. We can double check them before we put them in the freezer. But these are going to be super cute. I'm excited about these. Like I said, I can see some of them that have decided to come apart. But that's right, because we're going to just take our hands. We're going to use the heat of our hands to start kind of shaping these. We're just going to go over them one at a time. Take our hand and just kind of form it around this. Make sure that we have a good, tight ball around our stick. And then these are going to be ready for the freezer. I get the rest of these that are starting to come apart a little bit. Let's make sure we get these on our sticks. We can set up, get nice and firm, and they'll be ready for us to put these in some white chalk and get them decorated. All right, friends, so it is the next day. Our cake pops have been sitting in the freezer, getting nice and firm. We're gonna go ahead and do some almond bark. And this is what we're going to dip our cake pops in. So we're gonna get this opened. I'm gonna do about 6 of these squares, and I'm melting them in a glass because I wanna be able to dunk down and out so that when I pull these out, I'm not swirling it, I'm keeping it nice and steady. So let's go ahead and get these in our microwave. We're gonna do 30-second intervals, just like we do with any chocolate. Ready to go. We've got some red and purple, or red and pink melting chocolate that we're gonna use also to decorate these once we get them decorated or get them dipped. Then we're gonna go in and do our melting chocolate on them just to give them some extra color. I wish that I would have bought a cake pop holder. I did not. And so I'm gonna try to put them in a measuring cup and see if I can get them to stand upright until they are set. We'll see how that's gonna work. It may not work, but okay. Not done. Let's go another 30 seconds. So we're gonna experiment. We're gonna see how this works. I was looking at them. I'm not sure if I can get them to stand up in here without having it touch the sides so that they're, you know, gonna mess them up. But we're gonna experiment together. We're gonna see if we can make this work. I know they sell those cake pop holders. As you dip them, you can stand them up in those things. It lets them stand upright. But we'll see. We'll see what we can figure out. See what we can make work. Let's move these things out of the way because I want to try something. I want to see if we can make this work. It's probably going to mess up the bottoms a little bit, but I would rather have the bottoms not as beautiful than the tops. I don't want to lay them down or stand them up on the tops because I don't want the tops to be flat. I want to have still some, hey, look at that. That's gonna work. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. Let's move this out of the way. I have too many things going on right at the moment, so. All right. So we are gonna be able to use our cooling rack to do this. We're gonna have to stand them up nice and tall, just like that. See if I can get you guys down a little bit further so you guys can see what I did. So you can see our cake pops. I can get them to stand in this nice and tall because our bottoms of our sticks are flat. So we're gonna be able to stand those in there as soon as we get them dipped. We'll be able to space them out a little bit so that they can dry all the way, and we'll be able to get them decorated too. And that's gonna keep them from getting all messed up on the bottoms. I'm glad I thought of that. That actually works out really, really well. So I'm gonna take my hand and just go underneath these. I actually think I wanna turn this direction so that I have access all the way around because I wanna be able to get my hand underneath it and not touch the other ones. So we can stand these up nice and tall. We're going to use the bottoms of our stick, which are flat. The only thing is we have to be super careful that once we get these in here, that we don't touch this rack. We want to make sure this rack stays completely still. So our cake pops are still frozen because we had to get them set up. So we need to be really careful. This chocolate is going to set super, super quick. But we want to make sure we shake off any extra. And like I said, we're going to use our hands to go underneath here. Looks like we have a little bubble there. I'm going to use this. We have a little bit of an imperfection right there, which is going to be fine. All right, so we're just going to keep dipping these cake pops. We're going to tap it on the side so we get excess off. Make sure that we're getting the bubbles out because we don't want bubbles in our chocolate. These are going to be super cute. I'm super excited about these. I am not a fan of buying a whole bunch of equipment, having equipment that only has one purpose in the kitchen, because I think it's just a waste of money. Unless it's something that's completely necessary, I'm just not a huge fan of buying a whole bunch of extra things. So I would rather find something that I can use in my kitchen, make it a multi-purpose thing, and do it that way. So, all right, so we went ahead and did the pink ones. I was having a little issue with my pastry bag, and so I didn't film that part, but I'll go ahead and film doing the red. So we have our red melting chocolate in the microwave right now. We are gonna do our best to flip this around a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. Let's turn it that way, just like that. Let's get these all stood up straight so we can get to them. And we're gonna go ahead and decorate. We're gonna do the red. I was trying to do too many things at one time, and my melting chocolate hardened up in my pastry bag, and that just was not working very well. So I had to take my pastry bag apart and deal with that. So I wanted to make sure before I started doing the red that I got it ready so you guys could see actually what I'm doing and not me messing with my pastry bag. But we've got our pink done. These are going to be super cute. As I said, we are going to have to probably clean up our sticks a little bit because there was some chocolate that drizzled, which is totally fine. We're just going to take our hands, we're going to kind of peel that chocolate off and just kind of get them cleaned up a little bit before we put them in our little display that I made. I'm super excited to show you guys that. That's going to be super fun. Let's look here and see what we're looking. End up our pastry bag again. Let's get it folded down so we're not making too big of a mess, but it is going to make a little bit, but it's fine. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pour our red melting chocolate in our pastry bag. Let's get this all in here. All right, so now we have our red melting chocolate right here in our pastry bag. Let's give it a squeeze just to make sure. Let's squeeze it right into our glass so we make sure that we're free. I cleaned this out and apparently okay. All right, so we're gonna wanna twist this pretty tight so that we don't end up with chocolate coming out the top. And we're just gonna come right in here and we're gonna just decorate our cake pops. We're going both directions with our frosting or with our chocolate. Now I'm gonna let these set for a good couple of hours because I don't want to mess with the chocolate until it's completely and totally set up. Especially on the sticks, because I want to be able to just peel that chocolate right off, not have it smear. So this gives us a chance to kind of clean up our kitchen a little bit, kind of get a few things done. We have a couple more projects to work on today, but these are our cute little cake pops. I'm just gonna bring you guys in so you can see it. I don't want to disturb this while it's drying, but I'll let you guys take a look at our little cake pops. Here's our pink ones, here's our red ones. They're super cute. And I will bring you guys back in a little bit as soon as I let these set up and dry for a couple of hours. And then we're gonna bring in our little display that I made that these are gonna go in. These are gonna be so cute tonight. I can't wait to get the little display set up. That's gonna be fun. So we'll see you guys back in just a little bit. All right, friends, so our cake pops are done and ready to go in our little holders that we made. So I went to the Dollar Tree yesterday and grabbed a couple things to put our cake pops in. So let me show you before I get these out. I'll show you what we did. So they had these cute little containers and these little hearts. I taped these together so that they would stand up around the edges over here. And then I stuffed tissue, took another piece of tissue paper and wrapped the styrofoam floral piece in there and just shoved this down in there so that it gives some place for our cake pops to go. So we're gonna do our alternates. Since we're doing red paper on this one, we're gonna do the pink ones. And we're gonna just take these and we're gonna stab those right into our styrofoam down here. We're gonna do all pink in this one. And we'll do all red with the red or with the pink tissue paper. Hopefully we can get all these in here. So these are going to look like a little bouquet. That's what it's supposed to look like, is a cake pop bouquet. We've got two more of the pink ones to do. Anytime we have a little bit of excess chocolate on our stick. We're just pulling it off. Let's go ahead and spin this. Let's go ahead and stick one right here. And we got room for one more. Looks like we are gonna make it. We are gonna get all 8 of them in here. I was worried that we weren't going to, or excuse me, all 10, because we have 20 cake pops all together. And here is our little cake pop bouquet. But these just turned out so cute. Way cuter than I ever would have thought that they would have. And like I said, make sure that you're pushing from the stick. You're not pushing from the cake pop itself, because that will push the cake pop through the stick and the stick will come out the top, and we don't want that. So we want to make sure that we're giving plenty of room. All right, let's get one more kind of in the center, and then we'll have 2 more for the outer edge. Like I said, just picking off excess chocolate as we're going. We've got 2 more around the outer edge, and I have got a mess in my kitchen to clean up, but you know what? It's still going to be here when I get home. I need to get my desserts to the church so I can help set up. So we will worry about all of our messes when we get home, but I am super happy with how these turned out. These are so adorable. Are those not cute or what? I'm excited about these. These are super fun. So I want to thank you guys for joining me in my kitchen as we made some fun little cake pops for Valentine's Day to bring these to our church fundraiser tonight. These are not just for fundraisers. These would be amazing little treats. I think I have about $4 in these little containers right here that I got at the Dollar Tree. The bottom pieces came 2 for $1.25. I already had the tissue paper. The little hearts come 60 pieces to a package. I bought 2 of those. They come in 2 different sizes. I didn't use the small ones, so I'll save those for something else. I just used the big ones. And then the little styrofoam pieces, those were $1.25 a piece. So you do the math, I can't do it right now. But anyway, I don't have a whole lot in the containers, but they're just super cute. These are adorable. I'm so excited to bring these to church. I'm so excited to put these out there for dessert tonight and see who gets these. So again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in my kitchen. It means so much to me that you guys would take time out of your day to spend time with me, that you would stop by my kitchen and see what kind of fun things we're doing. I hope you'll stick around, and I hope that you'll subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of the fun stuff. Hit that notification bell up there. And most importantly, like this video for me, because that helps me get my channel out there so other people get to enjoy the same videos that you're enjoying now. So as I said, it means a lot to me that you guys would join with me today. And I hope you come back again, and we will see you again, friends. Have a great day, and God bless.